Hi everyone, welcome back. If you followed along with the series, then you obviously know what this is, and if you're new, then welcome to the final tour. I say final. I don't think this town will ever be finished because I feel like I'll keep making updates to it. For this autumn, I'm going to decorate it with pumpkins and things like that. So I probably will do a lot more tours ongoing because I feel like I'll always continue to use the town and add to it. So I know a lot of you guys will be asking this in the comments, so I thought I would do this. I'm going to tell you guys the plot value and the plot data. The plot value is 1.2 million, almost 1.3 million to be fair. The plot data, 54%. So it's not even that full up to be fair. It feels like it should be much higher than that. Okay, so starting off, a lot of these buildings are kind of just miscellaneous random buildings that aren't filled up. So we've just got this, which is, it could be a cute little house. It could also be a shop or a restaurant. And then straight across from that, we have this, which I think I intended, this was one of the things I built right at the beginning. I think I intended for this to be an Italian restaurant at the beginning. It obviously didn't end up that way because I actually ended up building a different one and I forgot that this even existed. So now going to the next door, a really cute, honestly one of my favorite little shops just because I think it's really aesthetically pleasing. A dance studio as well as dance shop, like a costume and point shoe shop. Straight away once you make it to the top, you just have the studio, which is really simplistic. It's one of the easier interiors that I did because it just requires a bar, some point shoes and some studio mirrors. And then also this window and the view from this window I just think is really nice. So honestly this could have been like a cute little apartment. Maybe if I added an extra part to this building upstairs it would make a really nice apartment. So then straight across the street we have a Starbucks, but actually because it's Bloxburg it's Star Blocks. This is again another one of the simplistic interiors. A lot of menus on the wall. I decided because at the time that I'm filming this video it is autumn, so I thought it'd be really nice to put the autumn menu. This is something that I built in the really early stages, so honestly kind of think it's really weird, but I intended for this to be an alleyway, except this alleyway doesn't lead anywhere, and there's also windows that lead straight to here. I don't really know, I think it's quite weird. I think at the time that I built it I thought it was going to be cool because it was actually going to lead somewhere, but it actually just leads into nothing. And then besides the dance studio there's just this empty building, which just think of it as being either some flats or one really big townhouse. And then opposite that we have a vintage shop, which I literally only just filled in the other day, but it was just because I thought that this section, most of the shops were done on the bottom floor, so then I didn't want to leave this one without something inside. So this is meant to just be like a bunch of vintage clothes and then some little antique things that you can buy, some vintage jewellery. I don't know, this one's kind of a, like, I was just experimenting and I'm not really sure how I feel about it. I don't know what way round we should go. Okay, actually maybe I'll go this way because it kind of goes to, no it actually doesn't go to a dead end. What side of the street first? Let's go here. So we've seen this townhouse and then right beside that we've got 3 townhouses, but these ones are slightly fancier. And for this one I was actually planning on this being the house that I move into when I choose to live in this town, if I decide to, I'm not sure. But that's why I've added some move-in boxes because I don't know, I might be moving in here. Let me know if you guys want to see like a moving roleplay series, so I feel like that would be fun. I added a bit of decoration to it just for fun, but as you can see it's really clearly not finished. I also just recently added this little garden area. Downstairs I actually have not finished it. This is I'm planning for it to go downstairs and upstairs. There's also going to be another set of stairs here. But going down is where you'll find the living room and the kitchen. And I actually decorated this in a video with you guys, I'm pretty sure. There's very similar layout for these other 2 houses. So then going across the street, we have this, which this is the main Italian restaurant of this city. So I'm honestly thinking of replacing that one and turning that one into something else. I think that this is really cool, the way that I built it. I really like it. And going inside honestly is not that imaginative. It's actually very basic. It's just 3 tables. So then going this way we have an ice cream shop, which I think this was actually something else before and then I've changed it into an ice cream shop. I actually did this as a video as well. Really cute, really simple of course because it's a very small shop. And then right besides that we have a crumble cookie, which is actually one of my favourite things that I've built so far in the town. And then above it is meant to be another apartment. And going inside we just have of course, a lot of crumble cookie branding, crumble cookie menus. And then this I built with basic shapes and structural beams, and I think it turned out really good. I'm really proud of myself for this. Also guys, sorry if I sound a little bit weird, it's actually because I have a bit of a sore throat, so this is actually really painful to talk a lot. But then if I go round the corner, here we have a little retro burger shop. Oh my gosh, I forgot to add a roof. But this is just a really simple but very cute retro themed shop. Go back here, there is actually a cooking space. Pretty cool. The floor honestly really like trips out my eyes. Like my eyes can't focus when I see all of this checkered flooring. And then if you keep going around the corner, this is another one of my favorite shops. This is a little patisserie slash bakery slash fancy cafe. And if you go inside, it's just really fancy in here. There's so many wall trims and cool paintings. And then I also had space to add a kitchen back here as well, which is pretty cool. I was baking some stuff in here because it's actually really nice. So then if I continue round the corner, there's all of this seating outside, some fancy plants, and there's also some plants hanging from the building itself. Just a little parking bay, mostly for bikes because these little bay things are really small. Just some bins, which I think is a really realistic detail. We've got this cute little like not lake. I wanted this river to pass through the entire city, but it actually didn't work that way because then I was going to spend too much money on the pools, and then also it would have taken away too much space from the buildings. I wouldn't have been able to have so many buildings, so I decided to add a small one with some parking on the other side. And then this takes us into Japanese inspired part of the town because, for example, like I live in London, and in London we have Chinatown, so I thought it would kind of be like adding an element like that into the city. And there's just a staircase here, which I'm not actually sure what it leads to. It was just kind of for like detail purposes. And this is a little bubble tea shop. None of these things I've actually decorated because I want to really take my time. I also was thinking that maybe I would build an entire Japanese inspired city. So then I was kind of thinking like, do I decorate all of these or do I wait to do that once I actually build like an entire Japanese inspired town? It's meant to be like an apartment at the top and then a shop at the bottom. And then yeah, the little river thing just continues. There's also a little bridge. I also decided to add a Japanese convenience store, and then I also just like found some sandwich decals and thought, oh, I'll add that as well, which is me just kind of being a bit lazy because I was finding it really hard to find food decals. Update this later. And I also custom built this fridge, by the way. And then connecting onto that, this is just a massive apartment block, and I will show you one of the rooms that's in there. So this is one of the rooms that I decorated. I used this for a roleplay video. I want to continue decorating these, so I actually have a lot of fun building little apartment rooms. Okay guys, so now continuing this way, we have a blank street coffee, which is another one of my favourite builds, especially because it is all sage green and pink on the outside, and then the inside is even cuter because we have even more green and pink all around. And I even built some matches, some flavoured matches, a strawberry one and a vanilla one, using basic shapes, and I think it turned out really well. I actually like created this without any inspiration or anything, so I'm very proud of myself for this. Different types of cups as well, and then just some cool matcha posters and green and pink posters on the wall. Should I continue this way? There's a few things I haven't shown you yet here, but I think we'll go down this way first because it's kind of like a circle, this part. So going this way, we just have yet another townhouse slash apartment building. I do plan to fill up some of these, but for now it's okay because they're not like a detrimental building like a cafe or a shop or a restaurant that like needs to be decorated. Oh, I don't know why this door is open, but this is the Pilates studio slash gym. So going in, first of all, you just got some lockers, towels, duffel bags, just things that you would find in a Pilates place by the lockers. And then going up the stairs, we have the first level, which is just a very basic gym area. And then going up to the final floor, we have the Pilates studio, which I decided to put as the top floor because you get a really nice view. Also, you just got a bunch of yoga mats, some yoga blocks, a towel with every single yoga mat, and then this is of course the yoga mat that the teacher would be using. And then behind that we of course have some more lockers, and then also some fairy lights on the ceiling, just again to make it just a little bit more fancy. This is one of the only buildings that's like completed all the way to the top, by the way. Now continuing this way, we have a gated community, which is meant to be like just like a fancy place that you'd probably find, I don't know, some richer people in the town living in. But I actually haven't properly decorated anything here because all of the buildings are really tiny. But I do really like how this looks, but at the same time I am kind of like, if I'm not going to decorate any of the buildings in it, then it is kind of pointless. So I don't know, you guys can let me know what you think. I do think it is cute though, but I'm just not really sure what to do with it. If we go back on ourselves a little bit, we have this fancy little bakery. It's very petite, but it is really cute. I love the interior so much. And this one is actually quite detailed because of course we've got all of like the bakery items and things here. But then if you go to the back, we have a little kitchen space. But also if you go up here, there is a little apartment. And then straight across the street from that, we have this sandwich shop. Did I build this in a video? No, I think I've just toured this already. I really like it in here. I think that colours that I've used and the way that I've decorated it gives like a really like retro sandwich shop vibe. And then of course I've added like these little details on the table, some takeaway bags. I really like how I've done the exterior too, and the green. I really like it. I don't know why. I don't usually like this colour of green, but I think it really suits the vibe of this shop. So here I decided to put a bunch of umbrellas. I thought it was a cute detail. So if we continue down this umbrella street, the supermarket, which is, I really like how I did the outside of it. I think this looks really nice. And this banner took me so long. It took me so long because I built this all with basic shapes. Like every single stripe is a structural beam. And then going in, I haven't yet changed. Okay, ignore this. I need to actually change these paintings to be more like this one. But there's just a bunch of trolleys down here and then all of these shelves. But yeah, it's quite a simple supermarket. But again, I guess this is quite a small town, so I couldn't really make one much bigger. And then right besides that, which is one of the last things to properly show, is this flower shop, which again, I really like the architecture for this one. I really like how I built these two shops. And this is really simple. Most of the flowers that are sold are outside, and then you've just got a couple inside here. So that's everything in this section. We've just got this over here, which I was planning on being maybe a bar or a nightclub, maybe an apartment building over here, and that's just right besides the Italian restaurant, which I've already shown. I'm pretty sure that's everything in the town. Yeah, I think I've shown you guys everything. Of course, as you can see, not everything is fully decorated, but as I've told you, like, this is technically the last tour where it's like, I'm obviously at this point not going to change any of the buildings. It will just be if I decide to change the interiors and if I decide to decorate it seasonally, where I'll give you guys updates. I think I'll definitely do a video where I decorate the town for autumn, for Christmas, so you guys will see that, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye guys.